This is part 3 of episode 99, Amateur Logic's 2016 Closeout Special, recorded December 31st, 2016. Hi, welcome to Amateur Logic, episode 99. I'm George.
I'm Peter.
And I'm Mike.
We covered Vegemite a moment ago. And, Tommy and I tried to exact our revenge. It didn't really work that great, but I've got a clip of that. And also, following that, we're going to have one of those snack bar breaks.
Intermissions.
This one is a little different, though, than the ones we've been seeing. So we'll be back in just a few minutes with you. It looks like Peter is raring to go here, and Tommy, it is time for the Vegemite revenge.
Has he already ate all of the grits?
I don't know. He's licking his lips.
No. I've prepared it per the instructions, microwaved it. I've used water. You can use apparently milk, half a cup of water with a sachet. And no, I've never ever tried any of this before. So looks like basically a corn porridge. So let's give it a try.
And this is grits, by the way, for you Yankees who may not have tried this. We're fixing to get an opinion from an Australian on good Southern grits.
Not bad, actually.
So which one did you do?
Did you do?
This is basically like eating porridge.
So is this
not bad at all?
The cheese or the original, or what flavor did you choose?
Oh, this is the butter.
The butter.
And,
okay.
Yeah, it's not bad at all. Mm.
Yeah. Some Yankees will put sugar on their grits, but that's just blasphemy.
Yeah, I figured he would like them, but I'm a little bit disappointed. It's not much of a revenge.
No, it's not a revenge at all. He seems to be enjoying it. Randy, have you ever had grits before?
No.
Never had grits?
No.
You don't sound like Peter's convincing you.
This is good. Mm.
Now, I think I stayed away from those during my visits to the South.
Yeah. Oh, it's good. It's a delicacy. Of course,
it's good. Mm.
Peter's just trying the instant grits here. You can buy them that aren't instant. It takes just a little bit longer to cook. I've gotten used to the instant ones now, and I actually prefer them over the.
Oh, he's already into the stage planks.
Okay.
Look at the stage planks, that's right.
Now this is no Tim Tam.
Not bad.
We used to get those a lot when I was a kid.
Yeah.
It's a bit like peppernoten, which is a Dutch delicacy, of course. Hi to all my Dutch friends. Or speculoos. It's. I'm trying to think what the flavour is. What would you call the flavour of these things, Tommy?
It's kind of like a gingerbread type thing, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly the word I was looking for.
Yeah, with a little icing, with
a little bit of icing on top. Mm-hmm. Oh, nice. Very, very nice.
Yeah, they're good.
So, no revenge for you guys, I'm afraid. This is all good.
The Tony Sacheries that we sent you, that's a seasoning. So you sprinkle it on things like, like the gumbo I sent you the recipe for. It'd be excellent with that.
I made the gumbo.
Yeah, and different things. So just try it on different things. You see it on the instructions.
Yeah, unfortunately, apparently your kids got a hold of the moon pies, and you're not going to get to try those.
Mm. Yeah,
the moon pies. They're pretty good too.
Man, he's doing just like we did with the Vegemite. Look at there.
I'm not. I taste butter.
Because you didn't put any on there. You need to get a quarter.
Yeah, he's just eating.
Yep. All good. So, gee, that's got a bit of a kick to it. Mm. But, all good stuff.
What did you just taste?
A bit of chili in that or something.
Oh.
So, quite hot, actually.
Yeah. It's salty and kind of spicy.
Yeah, no, not bad though. Not bad.
Yeah,
just got to use it a little bit sparingly, I suspect, because otherwise you'll burn your mouth.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for sending this, guys. It's all good tucker, as we say in Australia. Mm.
Good what?
Good tucker. Put that in my tucker bag.
Ah.
That means it's good eating.
Okay.
Or as the Dutch say, is lekker eten. So, yum.
I told you we should have sent chitlins.
Yeah. I'm not sure they'll let you import stuff like that.
They probably won't.
You shouldn't have it here either.
Yeah, you shouldn't. I don't.
Not me either.
Yeah.
Hello, and thank you for your business. Why not stop by our refreshment stand? We have all kinds of special drinks, but don't take my word for it. Take it away, showtime. There's still plenty of time to visit the refreshment stand. Come on down to the snack bar. Come on down, let your eyes out. Come on down to the snack bar.
Well, that was different, wasn't it?
Oh, it started out like a normal drive-in intermission trailer, but sort of went wrong.
Yeah, I got an email from Spike, said he found a cool new intermission video, and things get weird around 1:30. Yeah, they did. They got very weird.
I've actually got a friend who runs a drive-in here in Melbourne. Don't know whether you've got drive-ins in Mississippi and Colorado or not, but I must show him that. That is quite a fascinating trailer intermission.
Yeah, it's I don't know, it's like a bad acid trip or something, I think.
I was scared.
It was weird.
Scared.
Yeah,
I'm going to have
weird.
nightmares.
Yeah, a little bit like that.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about repeaters, and we're coming up, what have we got? Maybe 9 more minutes to New Year's here in the Central Time Zone. What do we want to continue with repeaters, or do y'all have another topic you'd like to move on to?
Hey, you guys just start talking, or whatever. We could show you our website if you can do your magic. I saw it hard for you to do earlier tonight. To show
it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard for me to do my magic sitting. Well, if you saw what I was looking at, I can't read the monitor as far away as it is.
Understand.
George doesn't have a Brian.
No, I don't.
I know that we're all missing Brian. I mean, that's,
yeah, really.
I feel like I should be asking you questions right now, George. Like I should have gotten questions from chat. And so, George, we've got WB3 DJU here who's got a problem with, and I'm so
Well,
that's all I get. That's all I get to talk about.
I do see a question there. Marty wants to know, can he open his eyes yet? Yeah, you can open them now, Marty.
There was a question earlier, Jeff. People in the chat room wanted to know what you had to do for your beads.
What I had to do for these?
He's not allowed to answer that.
Oh, okay.
It was not a Don Wilbanks maneuver.
That's exactly what it was. That's why he's not allowed to answer that. Actually, I forced him to put. I tried to get it. These came in like a 4-pack.
I wasn't wearing that. Sorry.
Not so much.
He wouldn't. No, I don't blame him. I
have a limit.
Yeah, a good manly set of beads there. I mean that works. You know,
he said at least they weren't pink, so he would put them on.
I had thought maybe Bob Heil might make it tonight. He said he was going to try to, but he didn't know if he'd be back home in time, and apparently not. Don, he's kind of close to New Orleans, so it's no telling what he's doing tonight. Gordo.
Oh, yeah. I imagine him and Don out there hitting it up somewhere, having a great time at some kind of jazz bar or something. You know how they are, I think.
Yep.
I haven't seen him posting anything on Facebook, so it must be pretty bad. Or he's having just a great time.
Yeah, Don could be out earning beads.
I think he's trying to make others earn theirs.
So let me ask this: which of you two was the ham first?
He was. It was kind of interesting. I mean, him and his good friends from New Hampshire that both lived here at the same time. They came over to our apartment and they were studying like every night for the test. And he's like, you should get your license too. And I'm like, I have absolutely no interest of looking at that stupid radio and talking on it.
He's not lying.
And he said, you probably couldn't pass anyways. What?
That worked.
So then I went and took my test and barely studied and passed it because I kind of absorbed everything they were going over. Sunspots, what is the E layer, the F layer, it started to sink in pretty easily. And I picked it up pretty quickly.
And to qualify it, I actually was interested in amateur radio when I was 13 or 14. So it was back in the kind of the mid 80s. I'm not that young.
That's right.
It's kind of back in the mid 80s. And I couldn't get past CW. I really couldn't. I tried and tried and tried and tried. So for all the guys that did code, I'm sorry. I couldn't get past it. I really, really wanted to be an amateur radio when I was a kid, and couldn't do it. So either I wasn't focused or something. So it wasn't working.
What year did y'all get licensed?
He actually 2007.
2006 or 2007. I took a long break. I got busy with my teenage years and then everything else after I got out of school. And so, I don't even remember. I think it was our friend Matt that I grew up with in New Hampshire that ultimately moved out here, that him and I got talking one day and amateur radio came up and here we are.
And they thought it was going to be pretty fun just to talk around simplex, things like that to each other. And I actually didn't have any interest to get licensed for a long time. And it's after he became a general when I saw him get QSL cards in the mail. And then I thought, that is the coolest thing ever. Okay, I kind of want to do that. So that's when I finally decided to get licensed.
Yeah, believe it or not, you could. When she was a technician, she wouldn't use the radio. You couldn't keep her off HF. And it took a while to get her onto repeater. She wouldn't
he kept
use
saying,
them.
just call me on the repeater. I'll be listening. What? No, I'll just call you on the phone. I'm not gonna. No. But yeah, that was my passion, was getting QSL cards, and I think it's because I'm a printer and I like to design things like that. So it was fun for me. And then when we went for extra, we both did it the same weekend, but I did it the day before and I got a better score. So I felt really good about that as well.
Bragging rights.
What's the best QSL card or most remotest QSL card you've ever gotten?
Oh, man. So I actually don't have them posted here. These are all cards I've gotten. None of Jeff's are here because he doesn't want to put anything cool like that together. But anyhow, it's not hanging up. And I think one of them was K1N because it took us so freaking long to work them. We tried day after day after day after day and nothing. And then finally, it's when we lived about 200 feet away from where I worked. We don't live there anymore. But Jeff finally worked them on 15 meters when it was very, very, very slow. And it was kind of hard to hear him and stuff like that. But he calls me and he says, "You got to come home right now. I just worked K1N." I'm like, "Seriously?" He's like, "Yes." I'm like, "Mom, the dog might be sick. Jeff says I need to go take care of her and I need to run home real quick." And she's like, "Yeah, okay." After she just heard my phone conversation. So I don't know why she thought that that's what was going on. But anyhow, that was probably one of the funnest contacts to make, to finally get that to work. Other than that, none of my contacts were really significant. I just find them all fun and find it fun to just meet a lot of new people on the air.
Yeah, the best QSL card I ever got was one back in the 80s. This before I became an amateur, and I used to do a lot of shortwave listening. And I've got it floating around somewhere. It's actually a card that's about that big. It folds up. It's got two little eyelets in it, and a picture of Japan at one end, or two pictures of Japan. And you look through like that, and you get a 3D image of Japan, which is really seriously cool.
That is really cool. Mike, what about you? Do you have a cool QSL card or anything?
I don't have any. I do more listening. I don't do a lot of operating on HF. I do a lot of listening, but not a lot of operating. But I do have a few cards, and call me crazy, but my favorite band is 15 meters. But it's never open. So my most memorable contacts on that band, or most of the HF bands, have been maritime mobile ships. I remember there was a Chinese fishing vessel that I talked to. He was way out in the Pacific somewhere, and there was another container ship that I had a contact with. He was off of the Azores, and I thought that was pretty interesting, talking to a naval, not a naval ship, but a container ship and a fishing vessel.
Those are really cool contacts.
George, do you need to do a countdown for New Year?
Yeah, I was just thinking about, well, Happy New Year.
Is it New Year's? Happy New Year's, guys.
Happy New Year's.
Sorry, dog. Yes, our dog's coming right in.
And we woke him up.
Happy New Year's, everybody.
Happy New Year's.
Well, we made it. We caught up with Peter. He's been celebrating. 15
hours.
Those are really cool contacts, though. I've never heard a ship. I mean, I've heard some smaller, like on the Maritime Mobile Service Net, but I've never actually even heard like a big container ship. That's cool.
That is cool. George, what about you? What's some of your coolest contacts?
Yeah, I'm trying to. It was a couple of the. I'm drawing a blank. There was a couple of these D-expeditions. I just can't remember the name of them now, but they were on the atolls, where there's just basically a few rocks sticking up out of the water. Mm-hmm. And, oh gee, I can't, I'm just drawing a blank on it. But those were my funnest because they were the ones I had to work the longest because of the pile-ups. And
some of those are so rewarding just because of that, because you fight and you fight and you. I remember one that we never did get, and we know Brian Milashowski fairly well, and I was talking to him at a Hamfest or something a couple years ago, and I'm trying to remember what
I think it was Amsterdam Island.
Yeah, I think it was, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I was just listening to the radio, and all of a sudden they just came out of nowhere, and I worked them, and I was like, cool." And going back to that CW thing, it was on CW, and I was like, yeah, that wasn't going to happen for me. But that was one that we fought for really, really, really hard, and
we could just never hear them.
Couldn't do it.
We didn't have the antenna G5RV, and they're halfway across the country, and ours is like 20 feet up. But
it feels so good once you finally get that contact, and then you get the card, and it, you fought for this for days and days and days, and you get the contact, and then you get the card, and you're like, yeah.
Peter, do you do a lot of DX or anything like that?
No, look, I be honest, I tend to do more digital, okay, and I'm that busy making podcasts these days, and I don't have a lot of time to get on the radio. It's ironic, but I will say one thing, though, just getting back to the QSL cards. I've got QSL cards from both the Mir Space Station and the International Space Station, and that's digital packet radio. And they're cool. Seriously, I mean, the Mir Space Station, that's been and gone, so you can't do that again. And the International Space Station is cool. That was pretty easy to do. I'd really love to work voice, though, to the ISS. That would be awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, we just all have to go back to 5th grade and be a 10-year-old and class that's scheduled to have that contact. That's about it.
Apparently, though, from time to time, the astronauts do have a bit of spare time and will just randomly hop on. But you've got to be lucky. One other thing, also, there was a post on either Facebook or our Google Plus page where somebody mentioned working an aircraft, like a 737. You guys ever done that?
Yeah, we've talked to. Well, no, not like a 737. This was a private plane. We have a guy that flies. locally.
this is hilarious. Yeah, he was actually. But I have heard.
We see a lot on APRS.
I can't remember, but I didn't make the contact. But I remember somebody working a commercial airliner. But yeah, there's a guy that we know here that lives in Kansas, and I don't remember what kind of plane.
He has a second home in Breckenridge.
I don't remember what kind of plane it was, but he actually talked to us on our repeater to where he was going to land in Kansas. So, and it's southeastern Kansas, I think. So we were I'm like, on the one side I was thinking it was really cool, and on the other side I was thinking, I wonder how many other repeaters he's getting into at the same time that he's talking to us. But it was kind of cool.
Yeah, I've never, like, on HF or anything, talked to any airliners or anything like that. But that would be really neat. And the other thing about the ISS was really cool when they're going through that campaign of sending out the SSTV.
Oh, those are awesome.
That was so much fun to receive those. Well, I never received a real clean copy of one, but that was a great time to get those old 1960s postcards, I think, or something like that. But it was neat.
Yeah, I got some of those too. That was a lot of fun, just to see if you could do it, Yeah.
Absolutely. And they were very interesting, and because they, there were so many different ones. So you were waiting for the next one to see what it was, obviously what it was going to look like, and they were pretty cool. They really, that was fun.
Yeah, actually, just for the people out there who are interested in working the ISS, there's a website at www.issfanclub.com, and there's like a forum there and lots of information about where the ISS is at any point in time and how you can go about contacting it on various modes.
I follow them on Twitter as well, that fan club. And
I haven't kept up. Do they still do packet up there to the ISS, Peter? Are they still doing packet?
Yeah, last time I looked, they were. So
are they? Something we've been trying to get people reintroduced here locally. Packet seems to kind of come and go, but it can be
so
fun.
much of it with the ISS is 1200 baud packet. I really wish they would do 9600. It would be, I think, a better experience because more people could work it.
Well,
I think the TS2000.
Jeff, do you run WinLink at all on any of your systems?
We do. Part of this digital net we've been doing lately is focused on packet and WinLink and what we can use them for with an MCOM. So a little bit of WinLink over HF and some over 1200 baud packet as well. But
Cool.
it's one of those things I think that takes a little bit of time. WinLink made it easy though, because generally you can just start up the software and kind of you don't have to remember all the commands and all that stuff, and you can just click send and it will just do it. Where if you're just doing a lot of other packet stuff, it takes, I think, a little bit of keeping yourself familiar with it to be able to remember.
Yeah, but
I forget.
If you come from a DOS world, back in the day, you're kind of used to just putting in commands and getting things to happen. So.
And I hate command line stuff. When I got into this All-Star stuff, it's all based on it was CentOS and now it's Debian, and I couldn't stand command line, and I had to learn it, and I still don't really like it. I cheat a lot and use things like Webmin to do stuff, and people make fun of me, but I still don't like command line.
Are you on the All-Star Yahoo group at all, Jeff?
I don't. I'm on that app repeat mailing list, that reflector that Jim Dixon had, but I didn't even know they had a Yahoo group, so I'm not on that.
Okay, because I just heard an announcement. Maybe it's out already. There's supposed to be a new version of All-Star that's available.
Is there really?
Soon to be available. Yeah. It may be out already.
I know they started transferring after Jim Dixon passed away. They started to transfer a lot of the things. There's a gentleman in Florida and for IRS that has been developing a lot of. He's the one that ported it over to excuse me, frog in my throat, Debian from CentOS, and he kind of took over the reins of the development. So maybe that's one of his newer projects is to do that. I'm trying to remember his name. I've talked to him. I can't remember.
So does it talk about like some of the newer features?
I didn't look at the feature list or what the changes were since the last one, but I know the judging by the thread, everybody was pretty excited about it. So
oh wow,
I can imagine. Yeah,
must be quite an update.
That it's going to be interesting to see what they've done. So it's fun because it's based in Linux. So I guess even not being a programmer, you can pretty much do anything you want with it. You can whatever you can think to make it do, it'll do it. So
we have some fun on our repeater system with that stuff. We've written some code to So if you have a handheld that has numbers on it instead of a keypad, you can hit like *992 and it says "Welcome to the Fun Machine," which is the name of our repeater system, is the Fun Machine, because we're kind of jokesters on there when it's not a serious time. And other ones, it's like *993 says "Dope," So we have a lot of fun with it, and that's all due to the All-Star.
I didn't name it the Fun Machine either. One of our friends did when it was just one repeater, and that's why it's the Fun Machine, even though there's like 9 of them now. It had to still be the Fun Machine. But yeah, one of our good friends here, we were having fun one day, and he's like, "We're gonna have to start calling this the Fun Machine," and it stuck.
Yeah,
wow.
It sounds weird when you're using it for Aries though, and you say, "Go to the Fun Machine." They're like.
Yeah, when you're talking to your served agencies and your emergency manager and saying, "Yes, and we're just going to use the Fun Machine," I'm like, "Oh." Did I just say that? And then I have a new name for that. It's the Fun Link system. At least they think that fun stands for something like functional, uniformal, normal. I mean, whatever. I tried to come up with some phonetics for it to make it sound like it was something more than just the word fun. So, anyhow, I would try to get around that.
When you were talking earlier about linking and that sort of thing, you mentioned simulcasting, and certainly George hit on it about having things have to be exactly on the same frequency, and that's an art in itself, trying to do something like that. And George,
I think it's impossible.
And I guess part of the problem is that the device that we use as an interface for that, it's called an RTCM radio thin client module. Micronode sells them. It has the input for the 1 PPS to synchronize the audio and everything else, but it also has a crystal on board, 9.6 megahertz crystal. So apparently there's an issue with that. The crystal kind of free runs, so you have to synchronize that to the 10 meg whatever to make them really truly play well together. And I haven't even tried that, but yeah, it's
yeah.
It's
So,
just
George, how does it work in the broadcast world? How does simulcast work? I mean, what's the magic of it?
Oh, well, on the same frequency, if you're talking about, which we're talking about here, it's the same way. All of the exciters for the transmitters have to be locked on to the exact cycle, or really the exact phase on the cycle, to be for it to work right. Otherwise, you're going to have things fading in and out, and the continuous signal like broadcast, it just wouldn't work. They'd all be interfering with each other. And there was a move some years back to try to get all AM stations to do that, because at night when the bands open up and you're picking up more than one station on a single frequency, you'll hear the kind of the volume going up and down. Well, if everybody would lock their oscillators together, it wouldn't do that, but they don't. So
So and I'm not privy to this stuff, so I'm a little bit curious myself. When you say the exciters have to be that way, do you do that, or do you order it that way? Who does that to make it all lock in?
Well, yeah, you have to buy gear that is capable of that.
Okay.
And it generally would use a GPS, like Jeff's talking about. Some of the early ones might have locked with WWV. I'm not sure about that, but I know today it'd be GPS and be more or less the same thing you're talking about, Jeff, except probably the gear would be quite a bit more costly. Not that it's any better, but it just
like a lot.
Yeah, these guys are like $100 and $120. You can find them on eBay, and they work quite well. But yeah, I think a lot of the stuff that you guys would use is those Symmetricom. Yeah, they're thousands and thousands of dollars.
Oh yeah. Well, guys, I think we're going to wrap it up here. If y'all can hang around just a couple more minutes, I've got one final clip here that seems appropriate after a night of drinking. So let's just take a couple of minutes.
He's gonna play Party House? What? No. I'm sorry.
It's another segment of AmateurLogic half-speed theater.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do just like I did the last ones. I'm gonna scratch D right off the list right from the start.
Okay.
An antenna built from aluminum I-beams. Well, that seems like that would be a pretty heavy-duty antenna. I don't think that's the answer. An omnidirectional antenna invented by Clarence Beam. And I don't know who this Clarence Beam fellow was. But whoever made up that question for the question pool may have been into something that had beam on the end of the name of it too. Some Jim Beam or something. It's gonna be C, an antenna that concentrates signals in one direction.
So you're saying it's beaming your signal in one direction?
Yeah, not like Clarence Beam.
Okay. There you go. That was correct. Everyone got it correct over there in the chat room as well. Jim Beam. They should have used that. Invented by Jim Beam.
Because I think somebody had some of it.
Yeah. Good have.
George, look, it might be just me, but you Southerners seem to talk a little bit slower.
Yeah, I just didn't realize it. I haven't listened to myself record it before, so that's. Mike,
Did you randomly pick things, or did you have to just find that? Did that one work better than all the others?
Mike is responsible for this.
So did you randomly pick things, Mike, or did those clips just work better than some of the others?
It sort of presented itself.
Yeah, it's I didn't know anything about that there was a group of folks out there playing them at half speed. It was Mike who brought this to my attention, and boy, I had no idea. It sounded like a couple of drunks, though, really slow talking Southern drunks.
Actually, I don't know if Tommy's going to speak to me ever again.
He may not. Oh, well.
He's not even here to defend himself.
Yeah. Did Amanda have to leave on that one?
She stepped away. She was laughing quite hard when she stepped.
I was laughing.
I think she had to, she had tears coming out of her eyes and stuff, so she had to get rid of that.
I know I did. Well.
Get myself together here. Oh.
Well, we appreciate everyone being with us for this tonight. It's been a lot of fun. Like I say, it was a kind of a last-minute deal. We thought we'd get together and just celebrate the new year. And you guys, y'all got, another almost 40 minutes?
Don't make us do math. Please.
Yeah. You're not on the left coast time zone.
No,
we got about 42 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
42
really?
minutes.
The more he drinks, the more math he can do. What?
All right.
I have no words.
You're on Mountain Standard Time then?
Yes.
Yeah.
So, well, we appreciate you guys having us. It's been fun.
I don't know if you wanted us on for this long, but we can talk a lot.
That was fine. We never get to hear from Jeff, so
I know it was kind of fun to have him on and let him talk a little bit.
Every now and then I poke my head in, and that's about it. So I sneak in there every now and then, but usually I'd leave it to her.
Well,
she's better on a camera than I am.
Most of our shows are kind of timed. We're trying to get things done.
It's always time restricted, and I'm lucky to get my questions thrown in there, so I can't really throw in a lot more. But I'd love to talk about this repeater stuff on Ham Nation sometime, and whenever. But you guys, so we won't hold you. I know you want to wrap up your show, so I would like us to both say Happy New Year to all the Amateur Logic viewers out there, and we'll see you again sometime. If George will ever allow us to be on his show again, which I doubt.
Well, now that I know y'all will do it, you'll definitely be back. So.
Peter and Mike, Happy New Year to you guys.
Happy New Year from down under.
Okay.
Thank you, guys.
7-3, y'all.
3.
7-3, Peter. I know, I don't even know what time it is there, but you're well into the new year and probably ready to do something
19
else.
past 5 in the afternoon.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds about right. Mike, do you feel like it was a successful venture?
Oh, it was great. You know what, George? It was nice having some new guests on.
It was.
Really great to hear Jeff on there, because I know he's kind of on the sidelines all the time and never get a chance to hear what he has to say or chat with him, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great, and we'll have to get them back again. Of course, we want to get Marty in there and our friend John. We also want to get Chip in there, but they couldn't make it tonight. But we'll get them on in the future.
Yeah, and I don't know if Ralph is still there. Ralph is in there, and Kevin K4IVE,
them too.
He's in there too.
Mm-hmm.
So
it'd be nice to get Randy back on at some point.
Yeah, we'll get Randy back on at some point too. It's there's a lot of hams out there doing fun stuff and doing funny stuff too. And so, that's our kind of folks.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. I appreciate everyone tuning in and hanging with us so long. But I'm going to have to get out of here because, like I say, I've got a gig in the morning. So I need to unwind a little bit.
You mean drink lots of black coffee?
Oh, yeah. I only had like that, just that much of a glass, so I didn't drink that much. But anyway, it's fun times. And I did buy the screw-on top wine, so I'm good for, another 2 or 3 episodes with that.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough. Yeah, well, we'll have to do this again next year.
Yeah, it was fun. Sorry Tommy couldn't make it, but he's probably sleeping,
Yeah, he'll have jet lag.
I thought for sure Tommy would make an appearance, but at least that's what he sent to me on Twitter. But I understand. I mean that. Well, Peter, you're a good. You can attest to the joys of jet lag.
Yes and no. When you fly around the world going in an easterly direction, it doesn't affect you as much. But when you fly the other way, I've heard.
Because you're gaining time. Yeah.
Yeah. So I flew around the world away.
I meant to ask Tommy if he tried to have a catch up on his sleep when he arrived, or because I'm not sure what time he arrived in the UK, but
he was early morning.
The first time I arrived there, I made a mistake of having a nap, and it just threw my body clock right off. So I think you're best just to tough it out for that first day, and then get right into the sync of being on whatever their time is.
I think what happens is that a lot of your body clock is set by your exposure to daylight, in other words, through the eyes. So if you arrive early in the morning and you get out in the sunshine, it'll actually reset your body clock a lot quicker. But as you say, if you go to bed and you draw your curtains, etc., you're just putting yourself back into your own time zone.
Right.
Well, I'm going to go reset my body clock, or my year clock, or whatever it is. But a lot of fun, guys.
All right,
likewise. No worries. Thanks, George. Thanks. Bye to all.
7-3, and we'll see y'all in a couple of weeks.
7-3.
No worries.